What's up, everybody? Arrg The Pirate here, and today we're gonna play a little Baron in the mid lane. I had to wait till he got nerfed, but man, is he still so good. But before we get into the build and the kit and all that good stuff, we gotta give away another skin code. By now, y'all know how it works. I'm gonna play a little clip of an ability. Y'all guess the god down in the comments, and the first person to do that wins a free skin code. Here's the clip. Good luck to everybody, and if you win, guys, if you want to get the code faster, you can leave me like your Twitter handle or something like that. That way I can get the code to you just a little bit quicker instead of actually being in front of my computer because, you know, life. But, alright, let's get right into this build. I'm going to start out with Mage's Blessing, Tiny Trinket, which is rank 1 of Bancroft's Talon, Baron's Brew, and 1 Mana Potion. And I kind of got these mixed up, but I'm going to pick up Shoes of Focus first, and then finish Bancroft's Talon, Chronos Pendant, Spear of Desolation, Obsidian Shard, Rod of Asclepius for my last item, and then I've got Beads and Aegis for my relics. Now, before we get into the kit, you might be asking yourself, hey, Pirate, why are you not going for red? And the simple reason is Neith and Amaterasu picked up red right at the beginning of the game before even going to lane. So I'm just kind of guessing that they're going to focus over those jungle buffs, you know, really play aggressive and then go get the jungle buffs. So I'm just going to leave them for that. You know, Baron's pretty strong, and with Amaterasu having that later game start, you know, maybe Neith wants some more damage. They're probably in comms because they're running around together, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave that. But guys, I strongly suggest picking up red, picking up those side camps. I do a pretty terrible job of it in this match because this is my second match with Baron, and the first time he was broken. So yeah, but guys, pick up those side camps. It will really help your farm. Alright, let's get into his kit, and first up we have his kind of unique thing where he can share his Baron's Brew with everybody on his team. If you didn't know, Baron's Brew is sort of like a chalice. It's more of that multi-potion chalice where it provides a little bit of mana and health regen, and it doesn't sell for anything. It costs 150 gold, and when you go back to the fountain, it recharges with 3 more stacks. But his real passive is Hysteria. Enemies hit by Baron will have Hysteria applied to them. Baron's abilities interact with Hysteria, providing bonus damage. If a target has max Hysteria, they take 20% additional damage from all of his abilities. Vivid Gaze is his 1. Baron animates 2 skulls that briefly warm up and fire 2 beams of voodoo magic that damage enemies. The beams cross over wherever Baron is aiming, and enemies hit by both beams take an additional 15% damage. If the enemy god is above 30 Hysteria, their physical and magical power is reduced, as well as their attack speed, and it's a 30% reduction on that. Awesome ability, and it works very well with Hysteria. Consigned Spirits is his 2. Baron guides restless spirits into the ground and buries them. After a brief delay, the ground erupts, damaging enemies in the area, and if an enemy god is hit, friendly spirits fly from the area and heal allies nearby. And guys, this is awesome. It's a very, very good heal, especially on, you know, more of a super damaged mid lane or mage. It's awesome. If the enemy's above 30 Hysteria, the friendly spirits cleanse, slows, and make allies immune to slows and increase their movement speed as well. Awesome, guys. Wrap It Up is his 3. Baron throws out a snake and wraps up enemy god's hit, dealing damage every 0.5 seconds for 2.5 seconds and applying a ramp to root. Now, this starts out as they got full movement speed, and then it slowly roots them over 1.75 seconds. If an enemy god is hit above 30 Hysteria, the snake will also lash out to nearby enemy gods who are standing too close to them for 1 second. Enemies hit by this are injected with the venom that ramps up and slows and deals the same damage. So you can potentially get this root to slow and damage on every god on the enemy team as long as you're at that full Hysteria. Lastly, we have Life of the Party. Baron pulls the souls of the living into his coffin, becoming CC immune and taking 35% reduced damage. Enemy gods within a range are pulled towards the coffin and take damage every 0.33 seconds. When an enemy god gets too close to the coffin, their soul is ripped out, causing them to be stunned and take a large amount of damage based on their maximum health and gain max hysteria. This ability persists for 3.5 seconds or until an enemy god is pulled into the coffin. If the targets being pulled are above 30% or 30 hysteria, the pull strength is increased. Guys, y'all have all seen his ultimate. It is crazy, but one great thing about this is the enemies that get hit will be at max hysteria as soon as they hit that coffin. So instead of blasting them with your one, you can actually hit them with that snake, and that will slow everybody that's close to them down. Awesome kit. Baron's so good, guys. Alright, let's get into this gameplay. So I am facing against a Scylla, and you know, hey, that's great because I'm terrible with Baron. Like I said, I've only played a couple of games with him, and I have not figured out how to hit his 2 or his 3. Terrible. But we do end up getting rotated on by Daji. You know, we need to play safe. We need to be careful. Let's go ahead and just try to clear this lane, you know, continue our farm. We don't want to leave this lane. You know, we want to stay here, but we need to play safe. And you can see, backed up, went ahead and popped a couple of potions so I get healthy. I'm going to try to land my 2 again, and I just cannot land anything. Daji ends up ulting me here, guys. And with my ultimate having a CC immune, I immuned her pull and actually pulled her into tower. We end up getting a couple of hits there. We get that root on her. We're able to heal up. She ends up dashing towards me again. The tower hits her. Let's try to make something happen. My jungle rotates over, and sure enough, Rat's going to just chase down Daji. We're going to go ahead and stay engaged onto Scylla. She just used her escape, so that's going to free me up to actually take her out. And sure enough, one more basic, and we're able to take her out. Easy peasy. That's great. You know, let's go ahead and get this lane pushing. You know, that's 2 of them down. I could back off, but I still have my Baron's Brew, so, you know, that can heal me up a little bit. Let's just hard push this lane, get some more farm, because once Scylla comes online, she's going to basically one-shot everything. So we want to make sure that we're staying at a higher farm than her. I'm going to try to push into tower a little bit, but once I see her show up, I'm going to then dip out and start rotating. Now, sure enough, we're able to absolutely poke that tower down. That's a ton of damage on that tower. You know, just a few minutes into the game. That's great. That's exactly what we wanted. We're going to still keep our eye out for farm. You know, get farm wherever you can. And I'm actually going to make a rotation to our solo lane. Now, Daji ends up going down there, which is great. But Balone is here. Let's go ahead and ult her. We're going to get that stun on her, and we end up taking her out. Awesome. You know, we did waste 2 ults there, but as long as we're taking her out, that's great. And you can see they ended up actually getting our solo tower already. So, you know, that's something to be aware of. We definitely need to keep an eye on that solo tower. I'm able to head back over to mid lane. You know, Scylla's here. She took a ton of damage there. You know, a ton of needless damage there, which, hey, I'm fine with. Let's go ahead and just try to get this lane pushing. You know, keep it pushed up. We can definitely back off and actually go buy another item, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Sure enough, we're able to finish off Bancrofts, and then I'm actually just going to march down mid lane. I'm still very much in my laning phase. You know, I even though we have lost a T1, you know, it's still very much laning phase, and, you know, hey, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and go in on this Scylla. I'm just going to go ahead and ult her. We're able to take her out easy peasy. But instead of trying to finish off that tower, which the minions might successfully do, I'm going to back off. You know, let's get out of that situation because we don't know where the jungler is. We don't know anything like that. Let's just push our minions into that tower and then make a rotation. And sure enough, Daji's right here. If we would have continued to go into that tower, she might have been able to take us out. And if you see there, our minions were able to successfully take that tower out without me being there anyways. So that was a much better call than actually diving in. Now we're gonna rotate over to our solo lane. We get this root, you know, we finally land a root on Xbalanque, which, you know, Xbalanque can just immune right out. Oh, it feels bad. But, okay, no problem. We came over here to defend. That's what we did. Bellona's here, though, and our rat is here as well. We should be able to make something happen. I'm going to try to catch up to them, but rat didn't need my help at all. Xbalanque's here. You know, we miss our root because we're terrible, and then we miss our little soul sucker thing. But rat ults in, and oh man, what a champ. We're going to be able to take out Xbalanque there. You know, awesome play. That was great. I've got to get back to my mid lane as quickly as possible, though, so I can defend against this push. Now, unfortunately, it's just not fast enough, but that's quite all right. We go ahead and try to start stacking our Hysteria, and then we're actually going to ult in. We want to pull these gods under tower, and you can see we actually had the tower take out Daji there, which is great, and then we're actually able to make that play onto Scylla as well, getting this double kill. That's absolutely awesome. But, you know, hey, they ended up getting a T1 in mid. It's not the end of the world. Let's start making rotations and see if we can make other plays happen elsewhere. And sure enough, we're going to head over to our duo lane. Now, Kuba is under his tower, which, you know, hey, that's unfortunate, but is what it is. Let's go ahead and actually try to zone him out. While our Amaterasu and Neith stay engaged on the tower, I'm going to just try to keep my poke on him, and I miss everything because I'm terrible. But you can see he's not able to really push into a whole lot or, you know, go after Neith because I'm there kind of just constantly spraying abilities at him. Now, Daji does show up, so, you know, hey, we got to peel off of that. We were able to successfully take out that tower, which is exactly what we want to do, but I need to get back to mid lane because Scylla's pushing like crazy. Now, once I spawn back in, I realize our solo lane needs a lot more help, so I'm going to head over there, and sure enough, you know, we're going to hopefully make something happen. We start trying to stack that Hysteria. We're able to get a slow, but again, he can just ult right out of that. It is unfortunate, but our team is collapsing. Let's go ahead and try to make something happen, but the enemy is very, very quick, especially with that Xbalanque stun there. You know, we got to be careful. I'm going to try to stay engaged. We get that root off. You see the damage we're able to get on Xbalanque, but we are not able to take him out. That is unfortunate. Hopefully my team can actually push into that T1 while I head back to mid because Scylla is again pushing into my tower. Now, I'm going to rotate to mid, or head back to my lane, clean it up, and then I'm actually going to just set this lane in the right direction. You can see I pushed that there, and I'm actually going to head back to our solo lane. Our solo lane definitely needs help. You know, with our tier going down again, you know, we need to head over there. Rat is here, so, you know, we can kind of engage on this. I do have my ultimate, and sure enough, we're able to hit that ultimate onto Daji, take her out, and, you know, Rat's rotation, oh, that's great. Hopefully we'll be able to take out this Xbalanque, and sure enough, we can use that too. And you see, guys, we're able to heal up off of that as well. Awesome. Awesome. Able to save that. Hopefully Tier can get back into lane and push into that tower. Now, from here, I'm going to head back down mid lane, get this lane pushing in the right direction. You know, we didn't really set this. We're going to have to rotate back, but I want to go help out Tyr because he has struggled a little bit. And sure enough, Bellona's here. Let's go ahead and start getting some damage on her. We do have our root to slow. We forced out her ultimate there, which is great if we can actually catch up to her, but my ultimate just was not far enough. And again, that's just due to that inexperience with Baron. If y'all play him a little bit, you'll definitely realize how far the range is on that. But it is unfortunate. We're going to have to peel off of that because, again, we did not really set our mid lane. Let's go back to our mid lane, make sure it's pushing in the right direction. Now, from here, we're going to try to push this and, you know, let's get this set so we can make a longer rotation. Xbalanque shows up and, you see, I'm missing my abilities. Terrible. And Scylla's here. Oh, this is not going to be good. We end up going down there. Oh, feels bad, but is what it is. You know, we really need to get some more pressure in that solo lane, or at least take out that tower so we can start having less rotations to solo and more rotations from solo. Now, from here, I'm going to head back down mid lane. You know, once I spawn back in, let's clean this lane up, get it pushing, and then I'm going to head back to our solo lane. We're actually able to get a kit off onto Xbalanque and just instantly delete him. Awesome. Get him out of there. You know, Xbalanque is definitely tough to deal with. And with Rat collapsing here, we should be able to take out Bellona. You know, she can be tough to deal with, but we just gotta wait for those cooldowns, and sure enough, we're able to take her out. Awesome rotation by Rat. You know, that was a great play. Hopefully he can push into the tower. It looks like he's leaving to go to blue, but hopefully he goes back and takes out that tower while I go and defend mid lane. Now, when your teammate is struggling at taking down a tower as the jungler, or just really any other character, any other god, you should definitely go help them out. You know, the solo lane is not so much about just staying in that lane. It's much better for him to rotate. And you see, I rotate over to help him out, but, you know, we just waited too long. We get collapsed on. We're able to get quite a bit of damage on Xbalanque there, but it just wasn't enough. And we could have safely, or Rat could have safely taken down that tower earlier when, you know, we got that sweet double kill. So guys, making those plays as the jungler is definitely important because, again, as a mage, you're just not going to do a whole lot to towers when an assassin would do a lot. Now, once we spawn back in, of course, we're going to go kind of damage control on our mid lane, head over to our solo lane, and I just kind of defend a little bit, get Rat out of there safely. Daji's invading our jungle, and, you know, I can't stand for that. She's going for a red. Let's go ahead and head over to our red and take her out, and sure enough, we're able to delete her. We did lose our red, but getting a kill at this point in the game is much more important, and sure enough, we're, you know, Baron with his CC, with his damage, he's able to take people out easy peasy. Now from here, I'm going to go over to my solo lane, make sure it's pushing in the right direction. You know, Tyr has definitely struggled this match, and, you know, he's kind of had Xbalanque and Bellona in his lane quite a bit. So hopefully, you know, me showing up over there enough will, you know, help that situation out. We're able to rotate over to this Scylla, take her out, and unfortunately Tyr goes down again there. You know, that's just unfortunate. Let's head back over to that lane. Since we've got mid lane pushing in the right direction, maybe we can make something happen. Rat is currently going in on Bellona, but I don't want to give this tower away for free. It's already fairly low. Let's not let Xbalanque just hit it twice and take it out. Unfortunately, Rat stayed in on that situation a little bit too long, and he's going to end up going down there. You know, that's unfortunate, but is what it is. Now, Bellona is very low. She's going to get out, and this was a bad choice on my part. I'm not going to be able to get out of this situation, but let's go ahead and try to do some damage, and you can see I missed my 2. If you can hit your 2, you can actually survive with Baron. It's just unfortunate, and we're going to end up giving that tower away and losing 3 people to their 0. Feels bad, man. Now, once we spawn back in, we gotta get over to our solo lane. You know, there's a pretty decent team collapse. Let's head over here. I'm gonna focus on this Kuba, and we're able to actually take him out here. And, you know, hey, that's great. I'm gonna then focus on Xbalanque instead of going after Kuba. You know, let's not worry about him right now. Once we take out Xbalanque, we can re-engage on that, and look at the damage. We're able to heal that up too. We end up getting that sweet double kill, and then we're gonna chase down Bellona, and sure enough, we're able to take her out as well. Awesome play. That's 4 of them down in this fight right here. That's 4 of them down. We should be able to make something happen, and right now is Fire Giant time. Now, sure enough, my team collapses on Fire Giant, and that's great, but unfortunately, Rat just decides to be a little bit too aggressive once we drop Pyromancer, and goes for a jungle invade, and actually ends up going down there. You know, that is unfortunate. You know, with Fire Giant, that's the time you want to push lanes, look for team fights, things like that, not solo stuff, but is what it is. We're able to get quite a bit of damage onto Scylla, but we should have blasted her instead of hitting her with our snake. Is what it is, though. My team collapses up here. Daji's here. You know, we get collapsed on. Look at this team collapse by the enemy team. Great job by them. And my team, after we picked up fire, we just all kind of spread out. No one really stayed together, and we ended up completely wasting our Fire Giant play, which is unfortunate. Now, after that unfortunate play, we're going to actually rotate over to our duo lane, and, you know, Kuba's here. We're able to get some work on him, but Daji ends up dashing to me. We're able to just delete her. Oh, man. Great, take her out of the fight. You know, she's definitely one person we need to watch out for. We're able to delete Xbalanque there. Awesome play. You know, that's great. Let's get that lane pushing, and you know, we need damage control. All of our lanes are set against us right now. We need somebody to, you know, really get these lanes pushing in the right direction. That way we can make these team fights actually matter, because with us taking 2 of them down, we're not able to do anything at this moment. Now, Rat is being chased down, so we're going to hopefully be able to head over. We get a ton of damage onto Scylla there, but, you know, we're waiting on cooldowns. Sure enough, we're able to take her out there. Awesome play, you know, and then Bellona's here with that Neath ult coming in. Oh, man, we're getting some work done. We should be able to take her out. Sure enough, great. We're keeping them on staggered deaths. This is awesome. It really makes up for that just terrible play on 2 Fire Giant. But, you know, hey, is what it is. We need lanes pushing, and you can see everything but our mid lane is pushing very hard against us, and we end up going in. Amarasu's tanking this tower. We might be able to make something happen. I'm just going to go ahead and ult in. Daji's here. We're able to get quite a bit of damage on her, but, you know, it wasn't enough. She does end up ulting in there, and hey, that's quite all right. Their team is showing up, though. We've got to get out of this situation. We need to get out of here. Rat ends up going down. You know, there just wasn't anything we could do. I'm going to go ahead and beads Xbalanque's ult there. That way I don't even have to stop running, and let's get out. Sure enough, we're able to peel off of this situation, which, you know, hey, that's what we wanted. We're going to back off and then, you know, finish up our last item, get back in lane, see if we can make something happen, and, you know, hey, we really need some damage control. You know, the lanes are all set against us. You know, we need somebody to go, you know, push a lane, and then we need some rotation, a full team rotation, like the enemy team's doing. You can see they're all stacking up, and this is why our 1 to 2 people lanes are having such issues, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and ult in, and look at this. We're able to pull Bellona into tower. We get a ton of damage on her. We get that slow on her. We've done a ton of work to Bellona. Hopefully we'll be able to rotate on her and take her out, and sure enough, Rat does. Now, Daji heads in, ends up grabbing a couple of them, you know, but we're here. We're gonna help defend against this. You know, we don't want them to just instantly go down. Sure enough, we're able to do that, but let's kind of back off of this. They have a front line. They've got a ton of CC right now with Kumba up. Let's be careful. I'm gonna go ahead and ward this jungle, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just collapse on their back lane here. And if you see, you know, this is where more of their squishier gods are. We might be... Oh, how did we miss that, Scylla? Oh, how did we miss that? And from here, you know, we're just going to continue pushing this advantage. Sure enough, we're able to take out Scylla. Awesome. You know, and again, we're keeping them on staggered deaths, but we're not able to capitalize, really, because our lanes are just not set all that well. But that's quite all right. We're going to be able to do a ton of work to Kumba there, especially with that slow, and sure enough, we're able to take him out. That's awesome. We got rid of their front line. You know, that's huge. But again, we're all kind of staying in this losing fight at the moment, and you can see my team's starting to slowly die off while their team is spawning back in even healthier. Now, we are successfully winning this kind of long, drawn-out fight, even though we're keeping them on staggered deaths, but we are slowly going to get picked off. And, you know, Daji rotated over. She's going to ult a couple of people. You know, we just need to be careful. And now Rat is on the defense, running away from Bellona. You know, we just need to be careful. Luckily, he was able to get out there, and I'm going to go ahead and ult. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but hey, it doesn't matter. We're able to take out Bellona, and then Daji doesn't stand a chance. Awesome, awesome play. That, you know, we've successfully killed like 7 people in this one fight. We should be able to get something here. You know, hopefully we can get a Phoenix, but we should at least take down a T2, and, you know, we're just not quite having that happen, though. Let's go ahead and peel off, head over to our solo lane. Maybe we can grab that T2, you know, especially with Tyr and Amaterasu there. They might be able to tank it, even though they have to change the protections a little bit. That's something that might happen, but Kuba is chasing me, so we have to be careful of that. He did back off there, and that's going to allow us to kind of go into this tower. And while my team's dealing with the tower, I'm going to go ahead and focus on Scylla. We're able to take Scylla out, and now we've got a huge advantage on Kuba. You you know, but you can see the CC, and with me being out of mana, we've got to get out of this situation. I was trying to slow down that Xbalanque there, and then I'm just gonna lazy back. I'm gonna lazy back, hopefully get out of here, and be safe about it. Now, unfortunately, my team all kind of stayed in that, and with the enemy team spawning in healthy, you know, my team's gonna just start going down one by one, and now they've completely flipped that. And you can see I'm running around, I'm throwing wards down, you know, there's nothing I can really do. I can't be out of position right now. I go back, put a potion on. We end up ulting Daji, and we take her out right away. That's one of them down that had Fire Giant. That's great. We're starting out strong, or we're starting off strong in this counter play, you know, but we've got to be careful. Bologna starts heading in. Let's back off of that. Let's be careful. Tear goes in on Bologna. We get her with our root. We got her under tower. We're getting damage on her. I don't know how that rat missed, but it did. Unfortunately, rat goes down there, and we didn't even snag Bologna off. Feels bad, but it's quite all right. Again, we're playing on the defense with our, now Amaterasu, you know, our new front line. She's going out there making plays happen. Let's go ahead and follow this up. You know, without that Aegis, we would have taken out Bologna right there. Oh, feels bad. Scylla goes in, and she puts herself deep out of position, and we're going to be able to take her out there. Awesome play. But now, again, we're out of position. We've got to get back. You know, we don't have a front line. They're much more healthier than we are. Let's go ahead and ult Xbalanque here, and sure enough, we're able to pull him into tower, get that one off, take him out, and we end up surviving this with, you know, half a health. Oh man, great play. Let's get back to the fountain, heal up, and then maybe we can re-engage on this. Now, once we spawn back in, we want to start getting lane control. This team fight's kind of over with. So, okay, we're going to push mid lane. You can see we clear that wave. Go over to our dual lane, get that lane pushing. Head back to mid lane, get it pushing, you know, get that next wave. Pick up red, head back to dual lane, and get that lane pushing again. And this is really what you need to do to get these lanes pushing in the right direction. You know, and once they're pushing in the right direction, then you can engage on a team fight. And if you see here, my entire team is in mid lane. So I'm going, okay, I'm going to push this lane since we're not getting any lanes really set and pushing in the right direction. Hopefully my team can hold off long enough for me to actually get something happening here. And we end up starting to drop. Ah, man, I'm going through the jungle, and I should have backed a long time ago. This was a bad play on my part. Might not have changed anything, but I should have backed. With my entire team pretty much going down here, you know, it's going to be very difficult for me to do anything. And you can see I chose to back like 10 minutes too late. But we're going to head in. You know, we try to make something happen. It's just not going to. We end up going down. They end up winning the game. This was a really fun match, though. And, you know, I really got to play Baron. He's a lot of fun, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed. And if you did, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.